There is so much to see and do at Universal's brand new theme park, Epic Universe. But how do you know what is actually worth your time?
We can help with that. These are the must-dos at Universal's Epic Universe.
Let's dive right in.
Woo!
We are starting off super strong with a thing that I think a lot of people, especially online, were super excited about. And you can actually meet real-life Toothless and Hiccup right here behind me in the Isle of Berk. If you happen to have seen these movies, you'll kind of understand why this is a must-do. This is one of the most immersive things that you're going to find. We all love a good theme park. We love a few rides, but if you truly want to be in a film, there is nothing like meeting and petting a dragon for the first time. Now, this one is one to expect long wait times for. It has been super popular during all of the previews, even during the media events that we're at. It's 75 minutes right now, which is why we're not in line just yet. Yeah. But it's super popular, it's super incredible. However, if you've not seen these movies, there's really no reason for you to stand in a 75-minute line to meet a dragon that you don't know about. If you just like dragons, it's still very cool.
Number 2 on this list and number 1 in my heart is Try to Kiss the Dracula animatronic. Don't actually do that, you can't, he's kind of far from you, but also that's
not allowed.
Well,
it's not allowed.
Well, no one's told me that. Behind me is the star attraction of Dark Universe Monsters Unchained, the Frankenstein Experiment. As you can hear, there's lightning happening in there because Victoria Frankenstein, the great-granddaughter of Henry Frankenstein, has harnessed lightning to conduct experiments on the monsters of Darkmoor. It's a controversial situation if you talk to the characters. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
But basically on this ride, Victoria Frankenstein is taking on her greatest challenge yet, trying to control one of the most evil monsters of all time and one of the finest, Count Dracula. Oh. Dracula is on this ride. He is trapped in the catacombs, and Victoria is trying to put him under her control. In this ride, you sit in a Kuka arm ride vehicle, which is where the track is where my elbow is, and you sit in a little bench at the very top of that, and that means you can move around with a lot of motion. Do you like my depiction?
I really love it.
They're
really
probably
good.
putting on an actual depiction right now, and I'm like,
they're
going to
use this.
It is a thrilling ride that gets you up close and personal with some incredible animatronics of all, maybe not all, but most of the iconic Universal monsters. It is so much fun. My favorite ride in the park, and even folks who are a little bit more on the scaredy cat side also love it. So definitely a must-do. Gotta try this one. Little warning for motion sickness. I get slightly nauseous on this one. Way better than most other like Universal motion simulators. My dad, who's a massive motion sickness guy, got no motion sickness on this. So that bodes well. Give it a shot.
It is pretty scary for kids and maybe adults who are scared of bats.
Yeah.
So
Emma's husband's scared of bats.
I don't know if he'd want us to share
Never
that.
mind.
Sorry, Ty. Our number 3 must-do is one that I must do right now, and it's eat a mac and cheese cone, and I wrote it in all caps because this is my number 1 personal must-do on Emma's list.
Hey, can you move the mac and cheese cone away from your mouth?
No, because
Why not?
It's my microphone.
She clipped the mic to the mac and cheese cone.
Because I love this thing. Right here we are at Hooligans, Grog, and Gruel, which is a tongue twister, and it was a miracle I said it on the first try. This is one of the quick services that you can find in the Isle of Berk, and it is pretty darn popular. I waited an hour for it once, which was silly, and you shouldn't be doing that. However, the mac and cheese cones themselves are an absolute must-do. There are 3 different kinds. This is the PB&J mac and cheese cone. They also have a hot chicken one and a plain one with some goldfish on top. They are so massive. They're so worth your time and your money. Even the bread is blowing me away every single time I have it. However, the one thing I will absolutely say is don't get them here. You can actually get them over at Spitfire Grill, and you can mobile order them and save yourself so much time and not make the mistake that I made. Now, this is not going to be for everyone. If you have really particular allergies or things that you can't have, definitely double check this menu because they only do have the 3. They can make a few accommodations, but it might not be for you. If you're also not looking for something super heavy in the heat, which I can totally understand, these are pretty heavy. Me, my husband, and my best friend all split one, and we're very satisfied because, look, they load it down. They're very generous. I've already taken bites out of this. They're really wonderful, and they're my number 1 personal in my must-do heart. Is it number 1 on this list? No, but is it mine? Yes.
It's number 3.
It's number 3, which is
But this list isn't in order. The list isn't in order.
It's whatever you want it to be. It's whatever you want it to be.
You must help Harry, Ron, and Hermione, as you really need to do in any Wizarding World of Harry Potter. Those guys just can't take care of themselves without you.
Unless Harry is out looking for you, and also you're looking for Harry.
Because Harry Potter, the bounty out for his arrest because of the animal cruelty, because he killed Jaws the shark, and now he knows that we're out for his arrest because Emma and I are bounty hunters at night after hours.
And also, you now have to go watch our Universal Hollywood videos.
For any of this
go
to make
check
any
it
sense.
out.
And honestly, I'm not even sure it'll help them.
No.
But this is probably the most popular ride in the entire park, also the most difficult to ride. During previews, this has used a virtual line system that was almost impossible to get before dropping that virtual line system and swapping to a regular queue. The regular queue, on the first day that it's open in the regular queue, about 300 minutes long for much of the day. Emma was in it. She waited 2.5 hours, rope dropping it with early entry.
And noting that one of those hours, the ride was completely unavailable.
Which is actually a pretty good wait for this ride if you take away that hour that the ride was delayed.
And unfortunately, it seems to be a little bit common, so something to be aware of.
This is a very technologically advanced ride called Harry Potter and the Battle at the Ministry, where you join Harry, Ron, and Hermione to go see the trial of none other than the worst villain in Harry Potter, somehow worse than Voldemort, Dolores Umbridge. Her trial's ongoing at the Ministry. Things go a bit awry. There's a little bit of a time magic component, and things do get dramatic. It is a very interesting ride with a very cool ride system, and it is extremely immersive and technologically advanced. This is the Rise of the Resistance of Epic Universe. It is jaw-dropping the first time you see it and hard to explain without having been on the ride. So definitely a must-do. I'm just warning you, you're gonna have to wait for it, but it is amazing, very cool. You might not want to do this must-do if you are extremely motion sickness prone. Now, I am motion sickness prone, and I got a little motion sick sitting all the way to the side of the vehicle when I was a bit dehydrated, but otherwise, every time I've ridden it, I've been closer to the center and have not gotten motion sick. So I actually think it's pretty good for motion sickness. My dad is very motion sickness prone, also no motion sickness on this one, but it is a little bit of a unique movement and there are some screens, so I think be aware that that could happen to you. You also might not want to ride it if you are not the biggest fan of elaborate motion simulators, but I think almost anyone should give this one a try once because it is sort of unlike anything I've ever seen. Very hard to describe, definitely a must-do. Help your trio, help the golden trio. Help
My
them.
trio?
Yeah,
Okay.
Harry, Ron, and Hermione.
Well, you said they're mine.
Yeah, they're yours.
Nice.
See dragons fly. You must check out the Untrainable Dragon. This is a How to Train Your Dragon themed show located in Isle of Burke. In this show, a new dragon shows up on the island and as you may guess, it's a little bit untrainable, even for expert pro dragon trainer Hiccup, who's both an expert and a pro, just like me. He can't train this dragon. You learn why during the show, but the biggest wow moment is actually seeing a dragon fly for real when Hiccup and Toothless fly out over the audience.
Bit of a spoiler there.
Sorry. Spoiler
okay.
alert?
Yeah, let them know.
Yeah.
I think that's good.
Okay. Spoilers. This was my biggest wow moment for the entire park, so absolutely a must-do to see Toothless fly in real life. If you're ride and food focused, this show might not make your must-do list because it will eat up a bunch of time, but if you've got the time, it is well worth it. See Toothless fly, cry tears down your face. It's a beautiful experience.
Whoa, that sounded like a threat.
Here in Dark Universe, you can actually meet the real life Universal monsters. Get scared, get spooky.
Woo.
There are actually some really cool meet and greets back here. You can meet Frankenstein's monster, the Bride of Frankenstein, the Invisible Man, and Igor.
With a Y.
With a Y, Igor. It is so cool. It really brings the land to life. And if you're anything like Quincy, this is huge to meet your heroes. And if you're anything like me, they just look really cool.
My heroes, they murder!
They murder!
They murder!
It's a lot of fun. It really brings the land to life. And these meet and greet times won't necessarily be as high wait times as maybe ones like Hiccup and Toothless. So it's a really cool way to interact with the land and kind of bring it to life. This one does.
Sorry to interrupt.
Okay.
The monster meet and greet for Frankenstein's monster and the bride is one of my favorite meet and greets of all time because the makeup is the exact same as the makeup in the movies. It looks incredible. I feel like I'm getting to hang out with them in real life and they're really nice.
Also, Igor's really funny.
Igor's hilarious.
Even if you don't really know who he is, go chat him up. He
We're
will chat
friends.
you up and he might show you a severed limb, which is not a joke and very
Or
true.
give you a weenus bump.
That's
Also not
true
a
as
joke.
well. Yeah, it's not going to be for everybody. If you are really, really rides focused and that's the only thing you care about, she's moving the camera as she drinks her beer. If you're really, really rides focused, it might not be something that you're super thrilled about, but for things like Invisible Man or Igor as they're roaming, it's a really cool drive-by experience.
Makeup Monsters Experience!
That's a little teaser for you. I bet you can't guess what we're doing now. It's the Monster Makeup Experience. Now, this is another one of those must-dos that comes with a caveat that it does cost extra. However, for some of you, I think it's going to be a must-do. For me, I would absolutely say it is. This is a $48 plus makeover experience. The base makeover is $48, and then there's higher tiers where you can get accessories, like actual merch. The makeover is really high quality face paint / makeup, but I mean high quality, based on the makeup they did on the monsters in the actual monster movies, and also done by makeup artists who do the scare actors for Halloween Horror Nights. So this is legit scary makeup. I was like, there's no way a $50 makeover could be great. What's happening behind me?
No, just keep talking, keep talking.
Oh my gosh. Ah!
That's a monster right
It's incredibly fun, and you're not just paying for the most beautiful sleigh monster makeup, as you can see. You are also paying for immersive experiences throughout the land as the characters interact with you in your new monstrous form. If you're more curious about this, go check out my full 10-hour in Dark Universe challenge where I did get turned into a vampire and things got interesting with the characters because they don't love them. And also, look how good you can look.
Okay, our next must-do is essentially for me and Breedlove. This is a shout out to the two of us because he put me on this, and this is honestly one of my favorite things to do in all of Epic Universe, and it's eat on the streets of Paris. I mean, look how gorgeous this is. We're sitting outside and it feels incredible. Over here in the Wizarding World is a really incredible quable service, as Quincy has dubbed it, and she's coaching me on how to say this incorrectly, and I'm sorry if I butcher it. Café L'air de la Sirène.
She did it right.
I did it okay-ish. You guys can call it whatever you want because that's a really long name, but if you speak French, I'm sure you said it beautifully. This is a quick service that shares and serves up some Parisian-inspired meals. They are really delicious. They have different drinks, and they also have the incredibly famous butterbeer crepe. This has been one of the most viral things that you can get here at Epic Universe. This is a mini version that I'm having, but there is a massive version. That's the one that you can grab. This is the only place that you can get it. It is about $20. However, every time I've had it, I have shared it with 3+ people and had tons of it and still felt like I got my share. It is so delicious. Now, the entire quick service is a must-do for me because I love sitting outside. I love the ambiance. I love feeling like I'm literally in Paris. It is just so gorgeous and such an incredible way to end your night. This is my favorite place to do dinner, and I just think it's beautiful, relaxing, and you know what? Gorgeous. I'm gonna say 2 just beautiful descriptors. It feels like a table service experience without needing the reservation or the hefty price tags. This is for anyone who's looking for a fancier experience but maybe doesn't want to spend so much or worry about different timings. You can just walk right up, order your food on your phone, and then scan the table that you're sitting at. Now, I will say the outdoor seating, which is my preferred when I'm eating at night, is pretty darn limited, but there is so much seating inside, and it has lovely and nice AC. Either way, you can enjoy it, and at the very least, grab a butterbeer crepe.
Next must-do is jumping the track. Who could have guessed? This is the Donkey Kong themed roller coaster Minecart Madness. This coaster, honestly, very fun, extremely herky-jerky as well. It is a very cool trick track coaster where it seems as if your vehicle is jumping the track, just like in the Donkey Kong video game. You're riding in a minecart, you're in search of the golden banana. It is so much fun. There are animatronics of Donkey and Diddy Kong, and it's super cool because it looks like you're jumping the track. Because of the way the ride system works, it is very shaky, which can be a lot. So if you've got any back neck problems, this one probably is a skip. But if you can handle a little bit of herky-jerkiness, this one is a total blast. The illusion really works when you're on it and makes it an extra thrilling despite being not that fast. And there are some fun surprises on the ride as well.
Next up on our must-dos is this hurts my neck.
This ride hurts her neck.
It doesn't hurt my
I've
neck.
not heard anyone else say that.
It's an Emma thing.
Don't fear it, but she did say next up.
This
is getting cut, and now it's staying in.
Your
and now it's getting cut again.
Your next must-do is you need to race across the cosmos here on Stardust Racers. This is the crown jewel coaster of Epic Universe. This one is massive. It's actually dual-sided, a green and a yellow side. It's tons of fun, and a lot of people have compared this to Velocicoaster, but
a little bit better, to be
Yeah.
honest. Quincy is a huge fan of this one. I am not a coaster girly, and I've already been on it twice. It's a lot of fun, although if you are scared of heights like I am, maybe keep your eyes closed and just like kind of like free fall. That's also a lot of fun. This one is going to see probably pretty high wait times because it is so thrilling and so exciting.
Top 3 in the park for sure.
Definitely top 3 in the park for many, many people, if not most people, especially if you're looking for thrills. Universal is doing what Universal does best. It is offering a lot of fun theming with some really good coasters. Ride it at night. It lights up and matches with the lights of the park, which is just cool if you're a nerd like us.
Which we are.
And we are.
Unfortunately, the next must-do, I tell you, does require a purchase, but unfortunately, it's also very fun.
You also had to buy the ticket, so like, what's a little more?
Exactly, budget for it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? That's my motto. If you budget for it in advance, then it's not up cost.
Girl money.
Girl math,
Woman math.
woman math. And you know what? Also men math.
And also anyone who wants to justify
Anyone's
it.
math.
Math.
All right.
What is it?
This power-up band right here. This is my Luigi power-up band, brand new today. I'm very excited about it because I love Luigi,
Luigi.
particularly because of Dracula. If you know, you know.
Yep. Go watch that
And if
video.
you don't know, go watch the Universal Hollywood
Is it a perfect day?
Perfect Day.
We don't remember.
We were sleep deprived. It's a crazy
It's
video.
crazy video.
But you need your power-up bands to do the interactive experiences all around Super Nintendo World. Now, pro tip, the experiences will work without your power-up band. They just will not store your score. So if you've got a little kiddo who really wants to do it, just don't tell them they need the power-up band if you don't want to make the purchase.
They can still go play games and
They can
hit
still go
barrels.
play the games, they can punch the blocks, they just won't collect the coins. The way to level this experience up is to have a power-up band which you can connect to your Universal app and then use to track your score as well as achievements around the land. It is so much fun. And you can do a thing where you collect keys right here behind me through key challenges to fight Bowser Jr., which is a super fun little mini game that you can play in the land, but only if you have a power band and collect those keys. It is a must-do. You can play the games without it, and that counts for the must-do too, but it's an integral part of Nintendo World and very, very fun.
You need to enjoy the ride that has been dubbed Hagrid's little brother, which if you know anything about Hagrid's over an Isle of Adventure, that's a pretty high compliment.
That's
So-
Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure.
Thank you,
Many
Quincy.
words.
It's
Sorry.
many words.
Too many words.
Most of us just kind of refer to it as Hagrid's.
Yeah.
But if you want to call it a full thing, that's cool. That's not what I'm even here to talk about, though.
She's
This
bullying me.
is Hiccup's Wing Gliders, which is a much shorter name, and I think we can all appreciate that. Thank you, Universal. Okay, this is a really fun kind of family-style coaster, technically, but there is a height requirement. Make sure you're double-checking for all of the rides when you're in Epic Universe. But it is a winged coaster that they actually put wings, they being Hiccup, on your coaster, and then Toothless himself actually hits the go button, and then you start soaring through the Isle of Berk. It is so fun. It's a lot faster than even you might think. There's a spoiler section where you even go backwards. The animatronics are pretty darn cool, and the music from the movies actually plays towards the end of the ride. I just get chills every single time. I will say, I love this ride. Quincy and I do have a problem with it, which is really strange, and nobody's really talking about it just yet. Maybe they will. Maybe it's me and Quincy problem. However, be kind of wary because the safety bar when you're riding is pretty tight. And you think, oh, it's fine when the ride starts. It won't bother me. It gets tighter when the ride starts.
With
It's
the
a thigh
force of the
pincher.
ride moves the lap bar as far down as possible,
Yes.
which does pinch the heck out of your thighs.
Little pinchy. I think it's worth it. Quincy actually does it.
Yeah, I don't
So
love this one for
it's-
that reason.
Yeah, it's not going to be something for everyone. It's definitely something to be aware of, and it might not affect everybody. So we highly recommend trying it at least once before you make your final decision because everybody's a little bit different. I will say this one has been getting pretty decent lines, upwards of a little bit over an hour. Sometimes we're seeing it sit around 40. If it's not the highest thing on your to-do list, definitely don't start with it because the lines are getting hefty. However, for me, I think it's worth it.
Next up, see the babies. There are babies here. There's babies. Baby dragons, that is. Yes, you can see real life baby dragons. Toothless kiddos are here, the night lights. They are adorable. Kind of a drive-by experience, so there are not set times that you can see the night lights. But if you see crowds gathering to the left of Spitfire Grill before you hit the Toothless meet and greet,
Right past the big dragon, the blue
big,
one.
the big ice dragon.
Yeah.
keep an eye out because you just might spot little dragon bebés. These little guys are super cool. They do tricks, they do little dances, they interact with the Vikings. They are so adorable and absolutely a must-see. So if you see this crowd, go ahead and swing by. Little bit of a magic spoiler, but these are robot dragons. They are little, we believe the Boston Robotics dog that can do the little dancing. And it's very cool. They've done a great job reskinning them to look like these little dragons. So if you're a tech nerd like I am, definitely see these guys. And regardless, if you love dragons, if you like babies, if you like robots.
If you want to blow somebody's mind.
If you want to blow somebody's mind. Yeah, if you want to be like, hey, son.
Look at this.
Look at this. And then your son's going to go, Dad!
It's a dragon. It's a baby dragon.
Holy crap, Dad!
That's a dragon.
And you're going to say, don't say crap, son.
Sorry, Dad.
If you want that, you got to see these dragons.
One of the absolute must-dos for our entire team and probably for you too is that you need to give time to each land in the park. Even if that is not your most excited or most favorite thing, you need to give each one an opportunity. These are so incredibly themed. There is so much good food, rides, music, live entertainment. There is so much to see and do, activities, everything. Each land is so unique, and you know, maybe it's not going to take you an hour to see everything. Maybe it's just a quick walkthrough to appreciate it, but every single land does deserve your appreciation. Now, it's no secret that you won't find a lot of shade in any of these lands. You definitely should be checking them all out. They're super cool, and hopefully if you're doing everything that you want to do, you're going to do this naturally. So I'm going to say this must-do is for everyone.
Welcome, mesdames et messieurs, et vous tous, le Cirque à Canoe. I'm not as good at it as the guy in there. Oh, she said I was very good. The Cirque à Canoe is the show in the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. It is one of the 2 full seated theater shows in Epic Universe. It is a very wonderful show. It is one that I like to make sure that my people can go to, but that is not a #1 priority, if that makes sense. So it's not high, but it's pretty darn good. However, if you have time for this, it is absolutely a must-do. Now, it can get a longer line because it's a popular show with some really incredible special effects. If you're a fan of the Wizarding World, particularly magical creatures, or anyone who's played the Hogwarts Legacy video game or seen the Fantastic Beasts movies, this one might be a lot more of a must-see. But even if you don't have any context for any of that, this show is very cool. We have a friend who doesn't know anything about Harry Potter and likes this show quite a bit. Worth seeing, very cool effects, and a great way to get out of the heat for a minute and sit down. So for all these reasons, it's a must-do. I am going to say balanced against the Untrainable Dragon. This one is a little bit more fun when you're an adult. Untrainable Dragon's a bit more fun for kids. Untrainable Dragon has one big wow moment and the rest of the show is fun. This one has several little wow moments throughout the whole show. So yeah, they're kind of a toss-up.
One of our final must-dos is one that's not going to be for everyone, but it certainly is for me, and it is watching the nighttime fountain show. This is one, I will be honest, I was going to skip it. I was not going to do this. And then my first time in Epic, on my way out, I saw the nighttime fountain show happening, and I literally stopped in my tracks and watched the entire thing. It is so incredibly gorgeous. There is so much lighting that goes around with the park. It even interacts with some of the rides like Stardust Racers, and it's just a cherry on top of a perfect day. Now, is it for everyone? No. If you want to hop in a last-minute line, you should. But is it for me? It is. So it's a must-do, and I'm telling you to do it.
So our next must-do is grab a themed food or drink item. Epic Universe has tons of themed food items, from snacks to meals, and themed drinks, whether alcoholic or not. Some of my favorite places to grab a meal include Meteor Astro Pub, Mead Hall, Café L'air de la Sirène, and Das Steakhouse. If you're looking for a delicious drink, look no further than spots like the Burning Blade Tavern, the Plastered Owl, or Bar Moonshine. Each land has its own incredibly themed items, and pretty much everything I've had in Epic Universe has been pretty darn delicious. We do have a full food video coming to the channel soon that will cover all of this, but don't forget to grab a themed bite.
Hey everybody, our next must-do is you must create a little magic of your own. It's kind of a given if there is a Wizarding World of Harry Potter land in any of the Universal Studios that you need to make some magic, but you especially need to make it here in Epic Universe at the Ministry of Magic side of things. Now we're not in the Ministry, but that is the name of the land. So if you're wondering, Emma, where are you? It's not the Ministry. I'm actually in 1920s Paris. Oui, oui, bonjour, comment allez-vous? I don't speak French, so let's end it there. This one's not as fun compared to some of the other must-dos because you do have to purchase something. However, I now own 3 wands. So take it from me, they're kind of a fun collector's item. They are a little bit more pricey. This is a first generation wand. It's one of the new ones, but there are also a little bit more pricey second generation wands. They're a little bit different. We won't get into it. However, you can make magic with both, which is very cool.
Show us how it's done.
Okay, I happen to be standing in front of a magic spell. Specialis Rivalio. So you find these little things, these little markers, and when you purchase your wand, luckily, you are going to get a map of where you can find all of the spells as well. So kind of a little bit easier. Let's see if I can do it. I've never done any magic here, so we'll find out. Okay.
What's in the crystal ball? It's Harry
Oh my goodness.
with the Philosopher's Stone.
Oh, it's so hard
It's
to
the
see, but it's
future.
there. It's the future. We
It's
just saw the future.
We saw the future. Because Harry's not alive yet. It's 1920.
It's 1920s Paris. And now you can be in it with me because you've just done a must-do. The reason we think it's a must-do is because this truly brings the land to life. It is so, so cool. And you can use your wands throughout all 3 parks. You can take, even if you have old ones, they are supposed to work here. So it's something you don't necessarily have to make a brand new purchase if you already have. And it's one of my favorite collectible items to have from the theme parks.
I have too many.
We have too many.
I've bought a lot.
Yes.
And I will continue to buy more.
To buy more, because they are always releasing new designs. Now, this isn't going to be for everybody. There are going to be people who are like, that's silly. I'm not spending $40, $60, or $80 on a wand. And if you don't want to, you shouldn't. But if you're here to live out your wizarding dream, I think you're seriously missing out if you don't buy a wand.
A pro tip is that if you don't want to buy a wand but still want to experience some of the interactive magic elements, right behind us is Cassandra, the talking portrait. She is technically a wand location. She will teach you to do a spell. She's technically a wand location, but you don't need a wand to talk to her. She is fully interactive. You can speak to a portrait, 3 portraits. It is a very cool interactive experience. So if you don't want to buy the wand, you can still create magic by talking to Cassandra.
If you're still here, go ahead and like and subscribe because there are so many must-dos, not just in Epic Universe, but in every theme park. And guess what? We cover them all 7 days a week. You should stick around for all that. Go ahead and comment this code. Did you do it yet? Did you comment it? No, I'll give you one more second.
She's pressuring you. Don't let her pressure you like that.
Go ahead and oh, that comment looked so good, you guys. Thank you so much. That's all the must-dos. And honestly, we don't have a lot of time, so I must do them again. Bye.